hopefully you can speak to that today as we open up public comment. So we want to open up public comment. We also have cards that we passed out to people, so maybe if you don't want to speak, if you want to write questions or notes or things that we should be aware of, we'll be taking those cards. We'll be taking them into my office and then sharing them with the Excelsior Collaborative as well. We want to act on the information we get. We want to act on ideas that come our way. Raquel from my office will also be taking notes as well. If there are a number of questions that are similar, we will actually pause a moment in public testimony and hear from either me or city departments as well as to what we are doing or our responses to your ideas. That's after several of the same issues come up. And so we will open up to public comment, and this is really the gist of this event is to actually have ample time for people to talk. We have the room until 8:30, and so right now it's about 7:10, I believe, so we can go till about 8:10 for public comment and see where we're at in terms of anyone who else wants to speak. I would say if you could limit up to 2 minutes would be great to hear. First up, I want to call up Regina Duncan, who is the mother of Eric Mabry, who has just lost his life on our streets here in the Excelsior in broad daylight. And a lot of people have come together on several occasions now in the neighborhood to recognize what's happened and to give their condolences to the family. Just yesterday at City Hall, I met Regina and her community and her family in front for a vigil that was done there in front of City Hall. It was very special that happened. It doesn't happen very often there, and I think that we come together as a city to support people who are grieving as you have, Regina. So why don't you please come forward. You can use this microphone. Thank you.
Hi, community activists. I applaud you. Thank you, Supervisor Avalos, for allowing me to speak here tonight. Community leaders. I have a question. I have a question for everyone in this room. How many people in this room have been on the streets of Brazil and Mission at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? How many people have been there walking, driving, taking the bus, picking up their children from school? Okay, so my son's voice is being carried through me tonight to let you know that no one's safe on these streets anymore. When a person can be killed brazenly in broad daylight, it's not okay anymore. This is what I've heard from the community. The business owners are scared. Personally, I've talked to the community myself, and this is what I've heard, the stories that I've heard. The children that go to this Boys and Girls Club were going home and had to pass by my son's dead body laying in the street at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They saw it. Check out the website on the Channel 2 News. They covered the story, and one mother's comments were that her children were traumatized by looking at such a sight. These children, whether they don't even have to be gunned down to be traumatized and to need services for post-traumatic stress and things like that. But let me get to another point. Any day and any time, this can happen to you. Bullets do not have names on them. The only one that I think might be safe here is this guy right here, because he might be wearing a bulletproof vest. But everybody else, I think that it's time to send a message, and the message is a message to stand for peace, to stop the violence, and to cry out for justice. Each person here in this room is here because something matters to them and they have a part to play. We need unity so that we can play our part and bring justice and stop the violence in this community. Now, my son's life was taken here, but I'm making a commitment to sow a seed into this community that will bring life back where it has been stolen. So that's another mission that's going to be coming forth in a vision. Also, there's just so much to say. And I think that that corner could be used for a community building That corner could be used for a place where people can gather together and get the counseling services that they need from being traumatized. I think that there can be services where gang members and gang affiliated people can get out of this city and get away from the life that has entrapped them. Now my son, if you saw my story, I'm not going to stand here and sugarcoat it at all. He wasn't completely innocent. No, he was not. Okay? But your children are, and so are you. And I don't want this to happen to anybody else. So what I'm saying is, I love your idea about the, things that you're saying about growing a garden and such whatnot, but we need to bring a city solution to a city problem and not a country solution to a country problem. We need to begin to see things through the eyes of those who are walking the streets every day. And if I could be extremely blunt right now, I think everybody in this room knows that the Burger King's on Mission Street is a known drug active place. Everybody in here at any time can buy whatever they need there, and the people know it. Okay? It's not a secret. It's not a secret. And when we start sending a message out to the people who are not even from here that think that that's an okay spot to do their business, start arresting people and taking them off the streets, bringing them downtown, you're going to see your businesses flourish. And you're going to see a change in this community, because then people are going to know that you mean serious business when you see the problem, and people who don't even participate in that kind of stuff walk by it every day. Now, another thing, this is not okay. There was a good Samaritan that held my son's hand while he died. She sat there and cried, and she's homeless and has nothing right now. But you know what she told me? She said, "Did you know that people just kept walking by and stepping around his body?" It's time to stop and pay attention. It's time to stop and pay attention. Don't walk around the problem, because the problem is everybody's problem here. Everybody's problem. And my heart cries out for this community, and especially the innocent little children that live here and have to commute every day. And one last story, I have a friend who actually lives in this community, 9 months pregnant, owns a daycare center here. She heard the gunshots and ran from her daycare center in tears, wondering if it was one of her children that was shot that day. When I heard that story, my heart just broke for this community. And again, I say, given an opportunity, I will plant a seed of life in this community that will go on to help us all. Thank you.
So what we could do, thank you, Regina. Thank you very much. And my deepest condolences. And thank you for your support for this neighborhood as well. What we can do is we can line up to have public comment. You folks can line up around here, and we would think about the middle, but it'd be better so we can see the speakers. Also, if you would like me to come to you with a microphone, please raise your hand. If you have a disability issue, I could come towards you with the microphone. Just let me know. Okay, and first up, please come forward. Identify yourself, your name, and we'll be taking notes. And those who would like to make comments on paper, we'll be reviewing those as well. And